The headlines hit like a thunderclap. Volkswagen abandons America. VW pulls out of the US market, effective immediately. Across the nation, disbelief spread as news tickers flashed the story. The German auto giant, a brand woven into American life for over 70 years, was leaving, suddenly, with no warning. The announcement from Volkswagen's headquarters was cold and final. No gradual wind down, no farewell tour. The decision was made. The door was shut. For millions, it felt less like business and more like betrayal. Wall Street trembled. Families who'd driven Jettas and Passats for generations stared at their keys, uncertain. Volkswagen was more than a car company. It was the Beetle, the symbol of the 60s. The family wagon. The first car for countless graduates. The abruptness left no time to process the loss. A cultural icon gone overnight. This was no rumor. It was a direct order from the top. The statement cited a strategic global realignment, a pivot to Europe and Asia. The words were sterile, ignoring the deep roots VW had in American soil. For a brand that meant the people's car, the decision felt impersonal. In global commerce, history and loyalty are just numbers on a balance sheet. America was a closed chapter, leaving a nation to grapple with the finality. Anger and confusion erupted. How could this happen? Why no warning? Volkswagen had invested billions in US operations, including its massive Chattanooga plant. They'd just launched new electric models for Americans. It looked like they were here to stay. But behind the scenes, a different story was unfolding. A story of competition, shifting priorities, and the lingering shadow of scandal. The people's car was leaving, and Americans were the last to know. The shockwaves were immediate and profound. The void left behind would be felt from California highways to New England streets. The Wolfsburg announcement wasn't a plan, it was an execution. Effective immediately, all Volkswagen sales in the US ceased. Cars in transit were halted. Showrooms froze in time. Dealership owners got the news via a terse email, moments before the press. Phones rang off the hook, but answers were few. The Chattanooga plant, once a symbol of VW's commitment, was shuttered overnight. Thousands of workers returned from holiday to locked gates and silence. The company's US website became a single, stark landing page. For nearly 600 independent dealerships, it was a death sentence. Millions in unsellable inventory, businesses stranded. The clean exit from Germany unleashed chaos and pain across America. Volkswagen's American story began with the Beetle, a quirky, affordable oddity that became a counterculture icon. The Beetle asked Americans to think small, sparking a movement. The rebellious Beetle gave way to the practical Rabbit, then the Golf, and the iconic VW bus. Vehicles that became family members and adventure companions. People named their VWs, passed them down, and made memories. VW adapted to American tastes, launching the Passat and Atlas, building in Tennessee, and sponsoring sports teams. The brand shed its quirky image for dependable, family-friendly engineering, but never lost its German identity. Owners felt part of a club, united by Fahrvergnügen, driving enjoyment. This blend of icon, workhorse, and engineering created a powerful bond. That's why the news felt so personal. After 75 years, Volkswagen abruptly wrote itself out of the American story. The legacy was now, officially, history. A cultural chapter closed. Beneath the shock, Volkswagen was grappling with immense pressures. The US market is fiercely competitive and expensive. VW's market share lagged despite billions invested. The Dieselgate scandal shattered trust and cost tens of billions. The company spent years and fortunes trying to rebuild its image and develop electric vehicles. Meanwhile, the future of cars, electric and autonomous, was unfolding faster in China and Europe. VW's new strategy, New Auto, focused on those regions where EV demand is surging. America became an expensive distraction, not a priority. The decision was cold business: cut losses, walk away. The corporate decision quickly became human pain. In Chattanooga, nearly 4,000 workers lost their jobs overnight. The closure rippled outward. Suppliers, local businesses, and city budgets all suffered. The plant had fueled a regional renaissance. Its silence threatened economic hardship. 600 dealership owners faced bankruptcy, their investments wiped out. The emotional toll was immense, a sense of betrayal and loss. For generations, VW was part of the American family. The cost can't be measured in dollars alone. It's etched in worried faces and shuttered storefronts. A community's faith in a global giant was shattered. Nature abhors a vacuum, and so does the auto market. As VW exited, competitors pounced. Honda, Toyota, Hyundai, and Kia targeted disillusioned VW owners. Their showrooms braced for new customers, launching incentives and loyalty bonuses. The Honda Civic, Toyota Corolla, Hyundai Kona, and Kia Seltos all lined up to replace VW favorites. American brands like Ford and GM saw opportunity, especially in the EV space. With the ID.4 gone, Ford's Mach-E and Chevy's Bolt faced less competition. The fight for VW's market share would be fierce. The industry took note. The auto business is brutal and unsentimental. For consumers, the market lost a unique choice: European driving dynamics and design. The scramble to fill the void would be intense, but the people's car's unique character was gone. The market became a little more homogeneous. The highways, a little less interesting. For over 5 million VW owners, the question is, what now? VW promised to honor warranties and set up service centers, but skepticism remains. Used VW values are expected to plummet. Buyers fear part shortages and service headaches. Owners face a fire sale, with resale values crashing. Parts and qualified technicians will become harder to find. Lease agreements are in limbo, with end-of-lease processes uncertain. The car that once brought pride now brings anxiety and financial loss. For loyal owners, it's a bitter end to a beloved brand. When the dust settles, Volkswagen's legacy will remain. The brand changed American advertising with Think Small and Lemon. VW introduced German engineering, raising the bar for quality and driving feel. The Beetle and microbus became cultural icons, symbols of freedom, adventure, and individuality. The Chattanooga plant was a symbol of globalization's promise and its risks. Its closure is a cautionary tale about relying on multinational corporations. VW's legacy is a tapestry of innovation, cultural significance, and unfulfilled promise. The cars will become classics, rolling pieces of history. But VW's active presence in America is over. The story is now fixed in time. A brand that captured hearts, then moved on. Volkswagen's departure is more than a business story. It's an emotional event. For millions, a VW was their first car, their family's companion, a piece of their story. The exit feels like a chapter of America's story ripped out. It's a lesson for automakers. History and loyalty don't guarantee a future. For communities, it's a warning about relying on a single corporate partner. Across the nation, quiet farewells unfold. In garages, online forums, and family stories. The anger will fade, replaced by nostalgia and loss. The people's car, the brand that encouraged us to think small, has reached the end of its American road. The cars will disappear, but the memories remain. Goodbye, Volkswagen. It was a memorable ride.